You know the quote. You probably heard it a million times. It's from one of the most iconic movies ever. But today, we're going to dig in and break down why this one piece of advice is so much more than a line from a film. It's basically a blueprint for life. Look, everybody wants to win. It's just human nature, right? We see it everywhere. Sports, business, you name it. We all want to be strong to succeed. But what if? What if our whole idea of what it means to be strong is kind of backward? What if we've been focused on the wrong thing this whole time? What if real strength, true power, isn't about how much damage you can do? What if it's something else completely? And that is the heart of what we're talking about today. The real test of your strength isn't your offense, it's your defense, it's your resilience. It's about what you do when everything is falling apart. Because let's be real, this famous piece of advice, it's about so much more than a fight. It's a masterclass in persistence that applies to every single part of our lives. So let's just get right to the quote itself, from the movie Rocky Balboa. A lot of us have heard these words, I know, but let's really listen to them this time and break them down, piece by piece. Okay, so it starts by completely challenging our instincts. It just throws out the idea that being the strongest or the most talented or getting that perfect first shot is what matters most. And here's where it flips the script. It completely redefines what strength is. See, it's not about trying to avoid the hits. You can't. They're coming. It's about how much you can take. And this is the knockout punch of the whole thing. It's not just about surviving the hit. It's about making progress because of it. It's about taking that blow, shaking it off, and still finding a way to take one more step. That's where the real power is. Now, to really, truly get why these words are so powerful, you have to understand the context. Because who Rocky's saying this to, well, it changes everything. It's not some opponent in the ring. It's way closer to home. Yeah, this isn't a coach getting a fighter hyped up. This is a raw, brutally honest moment between a father and his son, a son who feels lost, bitter, and completely beaten down by the world. And that makes this advice so deeply personal. Rocky's son is just stuck, you know. He's blaming everyone and everything else for his problems. He's blaming the world, he's blaming his dad's shadow, he's blaming his circumstances, he's pointing the finger everywhere except at himself. And this is really the core of their disagreement. The son sees the world as this big bad thing that's out to get him. He's a victim. But Rocky hits him with a much tougher truth. The world isn't against you. The world doesn't care. It doesn't care about your excuses. The only thing that changes your reality is your own persistence. So here's the bottom line. Life will knock you down. You're going to fail. You're gonna get rejected. You will lose. That's a guarantee. But none of that defines you. What defines you, what forges your character, happens in that split second you decide to get back on your feet. Okay, so this is where we take this idea out of the movie theater and bring it into our own lives. Because this advice, it was never really about what happens inside a boxing ring, was it? It's about every single area where we face a challenge. You know, getting through a tough semester at school, trying to get a business off the ground, navigating a complicated relationship, or even just fighting your own self-doubt. This applies everywhere. These are the knockdowns we all face. The bad grades, the job rejection letters, the money stress, the constant doubt. These are life's punches. And yeah, they hurt. They're meant to make you want to stay down. So if that's the reality, how in the world do you actually win? Well, Rocky gives us the answer, and it's a simple, relentless idea. You just keep moving forward. So you failed a test. It stings, I get it, but the real failure isn't the F on the paper. The real failure is letting that F stop you from studying for the next one. You just gotta keep moving. Your business numbers are down. A product launch was a total flop. The natural instinct is to panic, to retreat. But the winning move, you learn from the hit, you adapt, and you keep pushing. You're scrolling online and it feels like everyone is just miles ahead of you. That feeling of inadequacy, that's a hit. But comparing yourself to others is a dead end. Your path is your own. You just have to keep walking it. You know, the process itself is unbelievably simple. It's not easy, for sure, but it is simple. Step 1, you get knocked down. That's a guarantee. Your entire focus, all your energy, should be on step 2. Every single champion you've ever looked up to has mastered this simple loop. And this is the most empowering part of all. Persistence is a choice. It is not a privilege. It doesn't care how much talent you have, how much money you have, or who gave you permission. The decision to take one more step, that's all yours, and you can make it right now. And that brings us to the final line, the big payoff. Winning isn't about being perfect. It's not about being untouched by failure. Winning is about being unbreakable. It's about that stubborn, gut-level refusal to quit. That's the game. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the most important tool you have for success isn't your talent, it's not your smarts, it's not your resources, it's your decision again and again to get back up. So life just landed its latest punch. The only question that really matters is, what's your next move?